yung mga projects that you won pre-pandemic, nakuha nyo lahat yung mga ano na yon, mga contracts na yon. And then pandemic came. But
Yeah.
never kayo nag-default.
Never kami nag-default. So, ang hirap mag-execute ng projects. Some of our projects are in Butuan, Tacloban, Ormoc. Just to navigate through the quarantine, the permitting, all the vaccination that needs to be done was a nightmare, to say the least. But we were able to finish the projects, comply with our obligations with the bank. So, yung credit standing namin is also improved. So, yun yung ano ko sa mga companies that are starting that do not negate your obligations. When you say you're going to pay, you have to pay. And take care of your clients kasi they'll take care of you. So yung mga kliyente namin during the pandemic were so impressed with our service that they came back and gave us more business. Hello everyone, I'm Ruthie Owen, President and CEO of Upgrade Energy Philippines, and you're tuned in to Power Podcast.
Welcome to Power Podcast. This is a channel where you can listen to in-depth discussions of issues relevant to the Philippines energy sector. Power Podcast is a production of Power Philippines, the only online publication in the country dedicated to covering energy development across the archipelago. We cover all news and issues that spark meaningful conversations among members of our growing online community. We share the belief that sustaining the growth of the energy sector is vital to the growth of the country itself.
Welcome to the Power Podcast, where we bring you stories of leadership, innovation, and transformation from the people driving the Philippine energy transition. In this episode, we sit down with a woman who has become one of the most influential voices in the country's renewable energy movement. Ruth Yu Owen is a dynamic leader with over 20 years of experience in renewable energy, from wind and hydro to solar. She has been instrumental in advancing Upgrade Energy Philippines Inc. and its mission to provide sustainable energy solutions across the country. Under her leadership, UJEP has developed some of the most forward-looking projects in the Philippines, including the Balisin Island Hybrid Solar and Battery System, which now powers one of the nation's most exclusive eco-destinations, and the 13.8 megawatt rooftop installation for JG Summit's Merbau Corporation, one of the largest industrial solar projects in Southeast Asia. But Ruth's impact goes beyond building power plants. A recipient of the United Nations Women Empowerment Award, she is also the co-founder of Connected Women, a social impact tech startup that trains and equips Filipinas from underprivileged communities to join the digital workforce, helping them earn a living, work from home, and participate in the innovation economy. Hi, Miss Ruth. Thank you at pinaunlakan mo ang aming imbitasyon to be with us today sa Power Podcast. So, you have a very great story to tell. Yung personal life mo and your company as well. So, can you share with us how did you find yourself in the energy sector? Was it planned or did it happen accidentally, unexpectedly?
Um, I would say unexpectedly. I started my career in international shipping. So I met my chairman, si Mr. Rufino Bumasa, and we fondly call him Bumi, in Sydney, in a coal conference. Um, so sabi niya, renewable energy is the way to go. And this was in 1999. Um, and then that got us started in the wind power projects. Wala pang RE law noon, di ba? So, yeah, that's how it started. And it's been an interesting journey, actually. So, from a small town girl from Zamboanga City, my mother's Tausug Chinese, my father's from mainland China. So, I grew up in Zamboanga City. So, I'm Chabacana. Growing up was also hard. So we were not well off. I was sent to school by my aunt. I went to a Chinese school and then Ateneo de Zamboanga. Um, so yun, it's when I came to Manila, I started in my career in sales. Um, obviously because of my personality, di ba? So yun, that's how I started in my career.
Pero sabi mo, ma'am, hindi ka engineer by profession, di ba? Iba ang kinuha mo.
Yeah.
Nung college.
So, nung college ako, my father wanted me to take up commerce. Alam mo, Chinese, no? So, he wanted me to be an accountant. Siyempre, ginawa ko lang yon because, he wanted me to. But, I talked about failing and I failed the board exam, no? CPA board exam. Kasi nga, I was like running around with my boyfriend. I was not interested, diba? And then when I failed, that's what hit me. I was like, oh my God, this is totoo na to, di ba? And, I wouldn't get out of the house for days. And then I realized like, okay, like, let's move on. Life goes on. So you dust yourself off. And I nagbenta pa ako ng encyclopedia. I went door to door. Yeah, whatever was
Ano ba yan?
out
Britannica
there.
ba yan?
Mga ganyan. Colliers. And yeah, so, and I also, I found myself working in a small office in Blumentritt. And I remember, nagko-commute ako. Minsan, nasa estribo na ako ng bus para lang makasakay, makapasok to get there on time. And then, it's a small office where you're like typing all the things in the morning and then sa hapon, you're filing away. It pays the bills. But I'm thinking, I don't belong here. Diba? So, yun na nga. And then I left after like a few months and then I pretended to my mom that I was going to work.
Saan ka nagpupunta?
Nag-a-apply. Kasi I was trying to find myself eh. Diba? So, yun.
So, ma'am, akala ng nanay mo, may trabaho ka pa.
Nagtatrabaho pa ako na, so, nagbibihis talaga ako everyday, ganyan-ganyan. Pero, naghahanap ako ng trabaho, nagpapa-interview, ganyan. So, nagpunta ako sa interview ko, siguro gusto ko talaga maging medrep. Kasi for me, may medrep, may kotse, blah, blah.
Tsaka sales.
Sales, di
Gusto
ba?
mo yung
Magbenta,
nakikipag-usap,
nakipag-usap sa tao, ganyan. Tapos nung nag-apply kami dun sabi nila, meron pa dito sa port area. Alam mo yung newspaper dati, di ba? Yung ginugupit-gupit. We're hiring, ganyan. Sabi nila, punta tayo doon kasi So, punta kami. In other words, doon sa medrep, ako lang yung na-hire. Doon sa international shipping, ako rin lang ang na-hire. Ngayon, pag-iisipan ko, so eto na di ba? Parang why na siya? Medrep o international shipping?
Yung ba may kotse o sa walang
kotse? May kotse din.
May kotse din.
Meron din. So, pero ang difference was, at that time, yung medrep, they pay me 2,000 dito sa international shipping, 2,500. 500 pesos ang pinagkaiba. Dapat nasa health, siguro ako industry, di ba? But that's really interesting. So yeah, yung inaccept ko yung sa freight forwarding company.
So paano naman yung career mo dun sa freight forwarding? Paano siya bumulusok? To the point na you founded on your own company, ma'am, di ba?
Yes. So, ano siya eh, so dun sa international freight forwarding company, 6 months lang ako kasi hindi ko na-meet yung quota ko. Tapos lumipat na naman ako sa another freight forwarding company and then lipat. And then dun sa last company ko, dun ako that's where I grew and grew the business for the company. Tapos yun na yun, yung napunta na ako dun sa renewable energy, dun sa kwento ko kanina. Diba?
Kailangan talaga ng right fit, no? Kailangan mo mahanap yung right fit mo. Tapos kung saan ka yung right fit mo, dun ka
Doon
talaga
ka na magbo-bloom, di ba?
Yes,
Oo.
correct. Miss Ruth, you co-founded Phil Carbon before leading UCHEP. So, ano yung finally nakapag-decide sa'yo? Sabi mo nga you moved from corporate to being an entrepreneur. Ano yung paano mo na how you were able to muster the courage to establish your own company? And ano yung mga lessons mo na natutunan from Phil Carbon now that you're with UCHEP?
So, I was corporate for about 16 years, no? So, to be honest, I was forced to kasi something happened and I was fired. Okay? So, the option is still go corporate or do, diba, business. So, there was that opportunity to go into renewable energy. So, always wanted to do it eh. So, yun, lakas ng loob. Um, I think yun lang kasi kung mahina ang loob mo, you just go back to your comfort zone, 'di ba?
Mm-mm.
Pero yung challenges talaga to put up your own
Mm-mm. Oo.
is a very very tough journey.
Ano yung mga first few challenges na ano, sabi mo nga kanina, hindi ikaw lang ang hindi sumasahod. Ikaw nag-establish ng company pero ikaw lang ang hindi sumasahod at that
Oo,
time.
kasi it's not fair, no, na nag-hire ka ng tao, ine-expect nila yung sahod nila every payday, tapos sabihin mo, hindi tayo kumikita eh, sorry ha. That doesn't work with me. So, ubos yung retirement pay ko from corporate. Ubos. Di ba sabi ko nga, there were instances where parang pagising ko sa umaga, bangon ako, tinitingnan ko yung bed, gusto kong bumalik. I just want to go back and stay there and just vegetate kasi may mga araw talaga hindi talaga kinakaya. So, yun.
So ano pang ibang challenges at that time? How about getting people to believe you, or I mean, 'di ba, na getting clients to invest, or banks to put their money in the
Yeah.
company.
Di ba kasi sinasabi ko nga na ang ano, ang hirap eh, no? So, pag startup ka, gusto mo humiram sa bangko. Ang bangko naman, so risk adverse. They'd rather lend to yung mga someone they can bank on, mga bankable, let's say mga big
Mm-mm.
companies, conglomerates. So, hirap kami. We go to the bank, hingan ka ng collateral, parang isanla mo yung kalabaw mo or whatever, So, bootstrapping. Pag nag-startup ka, bootstrap talaga. So, yun nga, sabi ko sa'yo na kahit na tamad ka to go to meetings because you've had enough, just show up. And then for me, what happened was I found investors na I was in a coffee shop, we were talking about carbon credits, and then all of a sudden he said, I'm also interested in wind power. Ay, sabi ko, meron akong project sa wind. That's how I got investors in two of my wind power project. One is from Germany, Steag, and the other one is a local company. Pero yun, no, there were challenges in our wind power development in Sagada. We wanted to put up a wind farm there kasi yung chairman ko is from Besao, which is in Sagada. Tapos local hero. But then, ang dynamics doon iba. They have like, we call them the New People's Army that were still there, that were not supportive. So, yun. Para sa, alam mo, pag naglagay ka ng wind power project, kailangan mo maglagay ng metmass, di ba?
Yeah.
Para i-measure yung wind. Nilagay namin 100 meters yun, Siguro, one day, siguro after mga 2 months, we just found out na natopple na siya. So, ano nangyari dito? And we were doing community engagement, explaining the benefit,
And that's
that
not cheap, ha?
that's very
Yeah,
expensive. So, there's a lot of investment that goes with it. So, ako, I was very honest with my partner from Germany, and I said, we tried our best, and I think it's not working out. So, na-appreciate naman nila, sabi nila, we appreciate your being candid and honest with us instead of hiding it and getting more money from us. Sabi ko, no, I think we should stop. So sabi niya, Ruth, I think you have bigger balls than most men I know. And I, took that as a compliment. But what I've learned is that as long as you are honest and frank with your partners, ano naman yun eh, it shouldn't end badly.
Yeah.
We were still friends, mitigated more losses.
What were your first projects with Phil Carbon? Ano yung mga...
Yun na nga, yung mga win na hindi
Win.
matuloy-tuloy because of all those challenges. Alam mo sa Pilipinas, when you do project development, every area has its own challenges, no? Sa off-take naman, 'di ba? Parang sinong bibili ng
Sino
power
bibili?
mo, yung mga
Oo,
ganyan.
oo.
So, marami siyang naging advanced stage, pero hindi siya alam mo yon yung hurdle mo
Mm-mm.
hanggang doon.
Hanggang
Parang
doon.
yung tipping
Hindi
point
mo
na
malampas-lampasan.
hindi mo malampas-lampasan. So, yun ang sinasabi ko
Oo.
sa'yo na parang gusto mo nang bumigay kasi nandun ka na, So near yet so far. So in 15, we partnered with Upgrade Energy Philippines, which got us into the rooftop solar business. So yun, we managed to build, alam mo, 40 kilowatt lang yung first project namin sa Anvaya. Napakaliit.
Anvaya Cove.
Anvaya Cove. Oo, napakaliit,
Oh.
no? To power yung multi-purpose hall nila. And then, we're like, okay. Tapos, and then we slowly got other small projects, ganyan. The Development Bank of the Philippines was a catalyst to our growth.
Mm-mm.
They had this facility where they bundle all these small projects. Kasi maliliit, di ba? 100 kilowatt, 300, 500. Sabi nila, i-bundle natin. And that has become a catalyst for our growth, leading us to building the largest rooftop solar for own use at 13.8 megawatts kay JG Summit, no, sa Batangas. Yun eh. I think what I'm saying is that the banks, once they put their money on you, kailangan i-prove mo din na,
Yeah.
you can take that higher and higher. Sabi mo nga, di ba, constantly upgraded
Yes.
to
Kaya nga yun ang partner nyo.
si
Upgrade,
upgrade.
di ba?
Yeah.
Oo.
Yun. Yeah.
So si Phil Carbon partner with Upgrade with you, Jep. So finally, yun yung talagang doon na tuloy-tuloy na yung mga
Oo, ganon.
milestones nyo.
So when we did the largest rooftop solar for own consumption nga sa JG Summit, I was invited for drinks with David Aboitis, ganyan. Sabi niya, utility scale projects, maybe we can do something. Sabi ko, we're finishing this 13.8 megawatts. Sabi niya, ang laki naman yan, 'di ba? Ang laki. Sabi ko, nga, tinatapos namin, patapos na. So that's when he said, no, you should talk to one of our subsidiaries that's into rooftop. And I think there's a match. Yun eh, di ba?
Mm-mm.
So we did the joint venture with Aboitis or Advent Energy, and we managed to grow that business since we started 2 years ago.
Mm-mm. What's the biggest challenge you have faced so far in your career? How did you overcome it?
Greatest challenge? Ang
Oo.
dami.
Ang dami, no?
Ang dami.
Sabi
But-
mo
but
nga,
I
yung
think-
hindi pa ba yung hindi ka sumasahod?
When you're younger and you are going through the, up the ladder, or you make choices.
Yeah.
Some of the choices you make, you regret. So, I had choices in corporate that led me to losing my job. And that's lesson learned. Kaya, for me, it's important that I don't lose that lesson. And every day I remind myself, diba? Kaya, si UJEP, the core of, or the essence of our company is really to be ethical, sustainable, and not just as mere compliance, but really as the core values of the company. Yun yung parang I want them to live and breathe sustainability, integrity. Ang hirap niya na to be in this industry and do business with government. Alam naman natin yung challenges. But we're steadfast, no? We try and do what is right and be better than we are yesterday.
You're not shy about saying you were fired. Pwede nyo bang ikwento ba yan? Okay lang ba yan? Ano ba yung pinagagagawa mo, ma'am? Nagdaho ka ba ng stapler? Ano? Nakipag-away ka ba sa boss mo? Ano bang...
So, parang naging ako, I was a victim of corporate politics. Oh.
Okay.
So, yun. Medyo mahirap yun eh. Kasi you navigate towards all of that. And parang, yeah. So, I say it the way it is, no? I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
Oo. Pero you stood your ground, kaya ka?
Yeah. But I think, everything happens for a reason.
Yes, totoo.
So if I take myself back to when I was fired, I was like, inisip ko na, I wanted to
riddance.
retire. No, I wanted to retire there, ganyan. Parang wala talaga akong plano maging entrepreneur.
Oo.
I'm an accidental entrepreneur. Not by choice. But, you know what? It's in my DNA.
Mm-mm.
Chinese, diba, we're meant to be natural entrepreneurs. So, I look back 20 years ago. I will tell my younger self and said, you made that you made that mistake, you made that choices, but you'll be fine
No.
because you have learned from it and look where it took you.
True.
Diba?
True. Ako rin, parang, alam mo, personally naisip ko rin na, minsan kasi, before when I was younger, parang, I was too hard on myself, lalo na pag nagkakamali ako. Siguro kasi nga, yung mga magulang ko rin, too hard on me. Nung pag, di ba, yung mga magulang natin, they were really too hard on us. Tayo nga lumaki sa palo, di ba? Na
Diba?
when we commit mistakes, ganyan. So, over the years, I learned to be kind to myself. Na okay, sige, nagkamali ka. Then di ka pa namang kaya mo ba namang bumawi the following. Now you learn your lesson. Now you do something about that. Yung din sinasabi ko sa mga anak ko, ma'am. Na mistakes are there for you to improve yourself.
Yeah.
Parang ganon, diba? So, the UJEP story naman tayo.
Okay.
Okay, so UJEP began as a joint venture with your Belgian partners. So how has that international collaboration influenced the way UJEP operates locally?
So, initially, they were there to fund our projects, ganyan-ganyan. There was a turn of events. So, in 2020, we bought them out. Oo.
Okay.
So, yun. Pero sila yung nag-propel sa amin in the rooftop solar business.
Parang capital infusion lang.
Parang ganon. And then, in 2020, yung COO namin, si Peter Jan van Bugenhout, joined us as my partner. And then, another partner was si Jocelyn Anivado, who's our CFO. So, alam mo, what I've learned is that when you're a startup, you need to have partners that have complementary traits. So parang, let's say ako, my strength is like my network and how I am with people. Pero pagdating sa execution operations, I need someone to do it. So Peter's doing that. Sa finance naman is our CFO who handles our budget really well. So where we are now is a collective effort of managers, leaders that are complementary.
Yung kwento nyo, sabi mo kanina, yung mga projects na that you won pre-pandemic, nakuha nyo lahat yung mga na yon, mga contracts na yon. And then pandemic came.
Yeah.
But never kayo nag-default.
Never kami nag-default. So ang hirap mag-execute ng projects. Some of our projects are in Butuan, Tacloban, Ormoc. Just to navigate through the quarantine, the permitting, all the vaccination that needs to be done was a nightmare, to say the least. But we were able to finish the projects, comply with our obligations with the bank. So yung credit standing namin is also improved. So yun yung ko sa mga companies that are starting, that do not negate your obligations. When you say you're going to pay, you have to pay. And take care of your clients kasi they'll take care of you. So yung mga kliyente namin during the pandemic were so impressed with our service that they came back and gave us more business.
And that's because sabi mo nga kanina, complementary yung traits nyo, yung skills nyo, yung expertise nyo.
Yeah.
Ikaw, you're being a people person, magaling kang, 'di ba?
Ayun, parang bobolahin ko lang yung mga kliyente tapos sasabihin ko kay Peter, we're going to do this. We do what? Diba? Nag-commit ka, tapos, no, but, I mean, certain standards naman.
So, how has UJEP differentiated itself from other solar developers in such a crowded market?
Our aim is to be an ethical company.
Okay.
Yun na nga, not just as a compliance, but to have that as a core value. Na lahat ng namin, team members are aware that this is what we are, this is what we do. Inclusivity, diba? We are pioneer in so we have this Solar Nanay where we train women in in the communities where we're in. So we're all over the Philippines. We're training women to be part of the solar boom industry, right? And then we train them to maintain yung mga cleaning, ganyan. But at the same time, we're also thinking of upskilling them through to get a national certification with TESDA. So we're working with TESDA Women's Center on doing this. So that means we grow women more and more. And we want to launch this in the whole solar industry so that women can be part of the workforce. No? Kasi sometimes, pag naging nanay ka na, you feel like wala ka nang gagawin. And we tell them that solar is not just for men. It's also for women. And that also
Totoo.
takes me to diversity is at the core of what we do. So pag nag-hire din kami, kailangan may diversity na kailangan 50-50 the most. Medyo mahirap because it's an engineering procurement construction company. But guess what? Ang daming magagaling na engineers na babae, managers and all that. And they're more sa mga
Into
details.
details, yes.
Yan yung medyo kulang sa kalalakihan.
Oo.
But so that's what we found. And we encourage women to grow up in the corporate ladder, di ba? Para mag-progress sila to become leaders.
Alam mo, ma'am, yung comment on detail-oriented, yung mga babae being detail-oriented, sinabi rin ni Mr. Manny Rubio yan.
Talaga.
Podcast kami na ganun nga daw yung yung difference. Talaga tayo mabusisi talaga tayo.
Yun, correct,
diba?
correct.
So, you mentioned already yung solar nanay. So, meron ka rin personally that you started na parang advocacy
Sa
helping.
Connected Women.
Yes, oo.
So, I'm a co-founder of a startup for women in tech. So, we train women in artificial intelligence. We partner with tech companies. Like the Aboitiz Foundation is one of our partners. And we train women all over the Philippines in artificial intelligence, data annotation. What does that mean? Napakasimple lang, parang for a machine to learn one object, it needs millions and millions of data. So, kailangan mo ng human in the loop. So, we provide the human in the loop. Parang kaming BPO but work from home. Kasi we find out that sometimes, di ba, we ship our mothers out to be nannies or women
True.
drop out of the workforce kasi they become moms.
Oo.
So, syempre, wala nang yan, no? When you get married, you get pregnant, the question is not like who's going to quit their job. Usually,
Yes.
women sacrifice.
Totoo.
But it shouldn't be like that, diba?
Right.
Kailangan you give them options. So that's what we do in Connected Women. In fact, now we're going to the BARM areas to train returning combatant to be part of the AI revolution. So, ganon. For me, empowering women is personal. Kasi, sayang sometimes we do not give enough credit to women. Pag tinanong nga namin sa mga kababaihan, techie ba kayo? And the answer is always no. And then when we ask them, marunong ba mag-Facebook? Marunong ba mag-YouTube? Mag-Instagram? Opo. Di techie ka. So then, the entry level for what we do is low, and then we slowly upskill them.
Oo. Yung initiative mo yan, yung women empowerment, is it something that you started, bata ka pa lang? Okay, paano siya nag-evolve?
Yeah. So, si Gina Romero, my co-founder sa Connected Women's, British Filipina. Her mom was a domestic help in the 70s. Naging domestic help sa UK. Then, married Gina's dad. So, British Filipina siya. And then, she came back in 2016. So, meron siyang magazine digital magazine. She came from Singapore. She wanted to come back here. Sabi niya, I want to interview you kasi you're a woman in the energy sector, ganyan. And then she eventually told me that she wanted really to help women in tech. Sabi ko, how can I help? Yan, yung mga how can I help na yan has taken me to places I told you I can never imagine. And that started my journey in empowering women. Hindi ko maintindihan Parang sometimes, when you grow up, you're surrounded by men that says misogynistic jokes and then you laugh. I was one of them. But now, I know that you should not ridicule women that way. Kasi parang pag binastos mo kababaihan, parang binastos mo yung nanay
Nay
mo,
mo,
yung
yes,
kapatid mo,
correct.
yung anak mong babae, 'di ba? I mean, as simple as that. So, 'yun.
So how big is Connected Women now?
So Connected Women has over 250,000 women in our community.
Wow.
So we have trained around 60,000 women in digital technology. So that was partnering with Facebook, Microsoft, Google, etc. Ganyan. So medyo 21st century yung dating, di ba?
Maganda naman talaga yun. Tsaka talaga, dapat women empowerment. Kasi, tama ka, ma'am, pagka nagkaroon ka na ng anak, hindi na yun choice kung sino mag-aalaga sa sa anak mo eh. Alam ko masaya naman magkaanak at mag-alaga ng bata. Pero yung burden ng
Limited na yung options mo.
may limit na yung options mo. Pero at the same time, ganun din naman sa mga lalaki. Kasi sila naman, they will be forced to provide.
Yeah.
Pero mahirap kasi talagang mag-alaga ng anak because hindi lang naman yun ang ginagawa natin.
Yeah.
We also manage the household.
Everything, di ba?
Sinasabi nila,
Multitasker.
correct. Pag sinabi nilang subayan mo ng pagtulog yung anak mo, hindi totoo yan. Kasi pag natulog siya, iba yung ginagawa mo. Naku talaga. Ang dami ko natuloy nasabi.
Event.
Oo. So, nasabi nyo na yung advocacy nyo sa Connected Women. Nakita natin kung ano yung magiging impact niya to women, to communities, especially doon sa mga underprivileged. So what impact do you hope this advocacy will have, not just for women themselves, but for the energy and technology sectors as a whole?
Are you referring to the Solar Nanay?
Yes, and Connected Women.
Yes. So, okay, let me start with Solar Nanay. Ang Solar Nanay kasi, magiging part na ng workforce ang kababaihan. And the women there will have options, right? Kahit na they married early and all that, we find that they actually are very good at those things, no? Na, sa maintenance, etc. Ang sa tech naman, well, yeah, women can be part of the energy industry that way. Kasi para sa amin, kailangan, kung pwede nating i-automate natin. In fact, we also work with Connected Women para they can help us transition from our manual to digital. Yan.
Magkano yung sahod pala, ma'am? Ng mga nanay na, sa Solar Nanay, magkano yung...
So, minimum sila. So, kahit nasan sila, Metro Manila rate, ganyan. So, while they're being trained, we also pay them. Sa Connected Women, ganun din. So, parang inano ko lang yung may training, di ba? So, habang tinatrain, binibigyan namin sila ng, we pay them.
Oo.
Sa Connected Women, we also train women in correctionals para pag lumabas sila. It's really like opening your mind na technology, hindi nakakatakot, di ba? Although we also train them in cybersecurity.
Ay, maganda yun na while training them, they get paid. Tapos after nun, syempre, meron na
May
silang...
qualification. Ito nga, we want to make that a national certification. So may credential. Diba? Hindi lang basta-basta na meron na silang parang certificate that is acceptable.
So employable sila.
Yes.
Diba?
Employable. So yun na nga, it's not just, it may start as a UJEP program, itong Solar Nanay, but we want to roll it out so that the entire industry will benefit from it. And the entire, the entire nation basically, di ba, can get women on board.
Very important, may pera ang mga nanay ha. Kasi maraming mga nanay, mga kababaihan who cannot get out of abusive relationships kasi wala silang pera, wala silang trabaho, di ba?
So economically empowering them.
Yes, correct. At saka maganda naman may sarili kong budget, di ba? Hindi ko na kahingi na ng lagi.
Oo, tama.
Kaya ako hindi ako nanghihingi.
Ako din.
Pero gusto ko binibigyan ako. Joke. So, ma'am, the Balesin Solar Plus storage project has been widely recognized in very recent yan. So, what makes it a model for other island grids?
Yan. That's a very good question. Yung Balesin is actually a twin project of Amampulo. Ang nauna yung Amampulo. So, 4 megawatt siyang solar, tapos 5.5 megawatt hour battery. What does that mean? Ibig sabihin, pag may araw, yung solar ang gagamitin niya, di ba? Tapos pagdating ng mga 5 o'clock, pababa na yung araw, the battery kicks in for another 4 hours. So hanggang 9 p.m. You know, before solar and battery, ang ginagamit nila diesel gensets. Di ba? So it's polluting the environment. It's expensive. So now with that, 60% of the diesel genset is displaced. 40% na lang sila. Di ba? Ang ganda. Tapos cleaner pa yung air
Correct.
mo. And the savings can go as high as mga 8 million pesos per month.
Wow.
Savings, ha?
Laki yun,
Ang
ha?
laki.
Oo.
Because if you're paying diesel, di ba? For
Correct.
example, 25 peso yung babayaran mo. Tapos ngayon, babayaran mo na lang, let's say, 10 pesos. For example. Ang laki ng difference mo per kilowatt hour. So, ganun nga kalaki. So, what difference does that make? So, you know, when we inaugurated Balasin, solar and battery, the Secretary of Energy, Secretary Sharon Garin, and the ERC Chair, Nino Juan, went there,
Yeah.
right? Sabi nila, oh, we can replicate this in all our SPUG areas, a small power utility group, di ba? Yung mga islands na, let's say, Mindoro, Palawan, Cuyo Island, wherever, na sinasubsidize pa. Ano ibig sabihin nun? As consumers, lahat tayo, binabayaran natin yung subsidy na yan. Na kung diesel ang ginagamit, let's say, sa Mindoro, yung difference na meron sila kasing subsidized agreed generation rate. Ano yung sabihin nun? Ibig sabihin, they will only charge, let's say, 5 pesos sa mga consumers. Pero ang actual cost ng diesel is 25. Yung 20 pesos na yon, sino nagbabayad nun? Ikaw, ako, tayong lahat, 'di ba? So they call it the missionary electrification, ano na nga? UCME, Universal Charge Missionary Electrification. Yun. So, pag nabawasan natin yun because we install solar and battery, mababawasan din yung kuryente natin, our bill, right? Meralco bill. So yun yung goal, no? For us to be able to help government to implement the application of solar and battery in our SPUG areas.
Tsaka to my mind, nandun ka to enjoy the nature.
Diba? Tapos ini-inhale mo mga diesel, di ba?
Oo, sinisira mo rin in a way
Kalikasan.
correct. So, mas maganda nga yung project.
Tama, tama.
So, ngayon, kanina, earlier you already mentioned yung biggest solar project nyo. The Merbau, tama ba, ma'am? Yung, tama yung pronunciation.
Merbau.
Okay. So, the Merbau Rooftop Project is one of the largest in the Philippines. What were the biggest challenges in bringing it online?
So when we built it, we were transitioning from maliliit lang na projects, and then we had that. So ang daming challenges. One of them was really complying with, kasi dun sa Merbau project, sa JG Summit Petrochemical Plant. So highly combustible. Napakataas ng safety standards, ganyan. So lahat we had to comply. We have to get permits for each and every move that we have to do. Hindi kami pwedeng basa-basa lang. But what we learned is it actually propelled us to a higher standard of safety, professionalism, etc. So yun.
Paano yun nakuha yung project na yun? Laki na, no?
Nag-bid kami.
Mm.
So we were the most competitive.
Okay.
So, yun. You know, sometimes when you do projects, kahit konti lang yung kikitain mo, the benefit and na makukuha mo, no, is something bigger than what it is. Diba?
Yeah.
Kasi parang hindi ganun kalaki yung kinita namin, pero it attracted investments, joint venture with Apoitis, for example, kasi nakita nila na, ay, kaya nitong gawin. So for us, yung partnership namin or joint venture is really strategic. Sila, they're the largest retail electricity supplier in the Philippines. Kami naman, we are an engineering procurement construction company. That's our strength. So pag pinagsama mo yan, ang lakas niya na. Kaya so kami, we're very optimistic about the growth of renewable energy in the Philippines. Kasi nga, we're barely scratching the surface. And the government is so active in removing barriers for
Yeah,
us to
oo.
grow further and grow that renewable energy potential in the
Mm-mm.
Philippines.
Mm-mm. Tsaka parang yung Merbau project nyo place you in the map din.
Yes, absolutely, without
Oo.
any doubt.
Oo.
Mm.
Tapos after nun, yung Balisin na ganyan. So from mga small scale, biglang,
Yeah.
oh,
So
laki.
kami din, Upgrade Energy Philippines, our goal is to build a 1 gigawatt renewable energy portfolio by 2028. So, mga
Asan na kayo
1,000
ngayon?
megawatt. We are mga magto 200 pa lang. Pero sa pipeline namin, nasa mga 700 na kami.
Oo. And with the Balisin ako, ma'am, sigurado yan.
Yeah.
Mahihit nyo yung target nyo.
Yeah.
Kasi that's a very good project talaga.
Yes. Everybody's talking about it, lalo na sa hospitality, sa mga
Oo.
resorts.
Oo.
Alam mo, proof of concept lang yan eh. When people see that those things work, when you build it, they will come.
True.
Yeah.
True. Through Aboitiz Upgrade Solar, you're deploying commercial industrial projects like the Republic Cement and ProFood. So how do you choose and structure these partnerships?
So they're different, no? Kasi we also bid. Binibid out nila yan eh. And then we work on whatever nuances that needs to be done. We mainly work with our clients kung ano yung kailangan nila. We're flexible. We're also very competitive, and then we try and deliver to the highest standard. Kaya, alam mo yon, di ba? When you do it like that, people will like, oh, galing naman nila, maybe. And then people recommend us also. And that's one of the things that...
Parang, ano ba yung kasabi under promise over deliver, tama ba yan?
Yes.
Oo.
Yes.
Pero meron din yung tubong lugaw ng ano, 'di ba? Kasi Chinese ka, ma'am eh. So 'di ba ganun daw 'yon? Kahit
Actually,
konti yung kikitain mo, pero if you build your reputation, your credibility, then more
yun
clients
yung
will come
goodwill
in.
na ano.
Yes,
Mm-mm.
correct. So siguro baka, ma'am, pwede nating i-lay out. You have UJEP has a target of 700 megawatt.
1
Actually, 1
gigawatt na.
gigawatt na pala nga eh. So UJEP has a target of 1 gigawatt from 700 to 1 gigawatt. Na-hit nyo kasi ata yung 700 megawatt nyo eh.
Yeah.
Solar projects in the pipeline. What's the roadmap to reach this goal?
So when we started in rooftop. So we were going to continue on that growth, but we're also diversifying to utility scale. So solar farms, probably wind farms. So nasa pipeline namin ngayon, over 100 megawatt na solar farm ready to build. And then around 500 na nasa pipeline for utility scale, no? Yung malalaki. So that's how we're going to hit 1 gigawatt by increasing the utility scale projects. And this is something that we have an in-house expertise. Also, battery energy storage system, no? Yung BESS na tinatawag. Ang presyo 2 years ago, ang mahal. Ngayon, bumagsak na. Pababa na siya ng pababa. Because I think mainly it's also driven by R&D, no? Yung mga research and development on EV, like electric vehicles, 'di ba? Battery 'yan. So, pag nagkaroon ng magandang R&D diyan, nadadala siya sa battery also for power. And for us, we have in-house expertise that can also grow. Alam mo, the intermittency of renewable energy, for example, wind and solar, may mga times na walang araw, walang hangin. So that's when the battery comes in. Yun yung magko-complement sa kanya. Yun.
May mga lugar na ba kayo that you're already eyeing for the utility scale?
Yes, we have. Meron kami sa Cabangan in Zambales and then sa Pontevedra in Rojas. So yung dalawa na yon, ready to build na yon. And then the others are still on the pipeline. Yun.
Yung wind, kanina sabi mo, hindi nag-fly ang ang wind.
Gone with the wind.
Gone with the wind siya. How about now? Ano yung prospects ngayon for
So if there are opportunities for wind, we'll definitely go into it. No? It's not something na solar lang kami. Hindi. We're renewable energy, di ba?
Oo. Oo.
Yun.
How about hydro? Pwede pa rin ba sa inyo? Medyo capital
Alam mo,
intensive.
okay, when I
yun eh.
started, I was like, wind, hydro. Ang hydro is site-specific eh, kung nasaan yung river. Ngayon, kung may mga issues ka, let's say local government units, the indigenous peoples, for example, na nire-resist nila yan sometimes, hindi ka pwedeng lumipat. Kasi nandun yung source ng ano mo eh,
Oo,
di ba?
oo.
Energy mo. So, anong gagawin mo? Sa solar, kung ayaw dito, dilipat natin ng konti dito. Di ba? It's more flexible. But I'm not saying that it's going to be, we're not going to do it. If and when the opportunity arises in future, then we'll definitely explore.
Pag umangat ang tubig.
Correct, di ba? Kasi ayun, tama.
With Climb Capital's $10 million investment, how are you structuring your growth? More rooftops, more rooftops kayo, ground mounted or hybrids?
So the investment of Climb Capital is up to $10 million. But that actually helped us grow when they invested in us. Helped us in 2 years ago, we were 22 employees. Now we're about 80. We moved to a bigger office, but that bigger office is no longer big. So we're getting another extension office of the same size for growth. So when a funder like Climb Capital, their fund managers, invest in you, it helps you as a startup. You really need to grab the bull by its horn and say, okay, let's go and do this. And that's what we did, no? And that's what the funding actually did to UJET. Help us grow our team, help us grow the company, and help us to keep growing to our full potential.
Hindi ba nila dadagdagan yung $10 million?
Tama.
Hanggang kailan ba yung $10 million na yon? Maliit na lang yun, mabilis gastusin ng pera, di
Mga
ba?
milestones naman yan.
Oo.
You need to reach certain milestones for them to ganyan.
But they're willing to give more.
Yeah, definitely.
Oo.
Actually, yeah. They definitely, we are in our capital raise now. We have appointed EY of Singapore to be our financial consultant. So it generated a lot of interest from investors, which is flattering. Kasi, di ba, biglang, from no one wants to invest in you. Sabi nga nila when Climb Capital invest in a company, parang nilalagyan nila ng stamp na okay to, di ba?
So, ibig sabihin, hindi rin exclusive sa kanila yung investment. Somebody else can come in.
At a certain
Okay.
point. Yeah, so, yun.
So, let's talk about naman yung, di ba may targets tayo. So, from your perspective, what's the single biggest bottleneck preventing faster renewable energy rollout in the Philippines? I don't...
Infrastructure is one, of
Okay.
course, di ba? Pwede ka naman mag-build ng planta dito, pero paano ka ko-connect? Kung wala kang transmission lines, etc., etc. And I think, alam naman natin na napunta na yung discussions na yan sa Senado, but I think it's improving. That's improving infrastructure, but it can still be better, right? The other one is the local government units. Hindi ko nilalahat, pero it is one of the hurdles that we need to work on constantly kasi iba-iba yung behavior ng mga LGUs in different places. Some are supportive, some are not so supportive. So those are the challenges. The mga national agencies naman, they're working together. So we have the EVOS. Alam mo yung EVOS, di ba? Where it's a platform where you go in there, you have certain number of days allowed to comply and ganyan. So that platform works. I think so far in a way. So yun.
Pero yung DOE naman ngayon, tsaka ERC are very supportive of
Very
the
very
industry.
supportive.
And even the president, di ba?
The president has always been a renewable energy person,
Oo.
I think. I think he was the governor when the
Oo.
Banghi wind farm was built and he was there to support it, right? To encourage. So tuloy pa rin siya and we see that no in the appointment of Sec Popo Lotilla before as Secretary of Energy now
Now,
Secretary Sharon Garin,
DNR.
who's also very she's willing to work with private sector to execute um, whatever is needed, no? Kasi alam niya naman yung limitations ng government. But I said, together, we can work better and faster. I sit as a chair of the Energy Committee of the Management Association of the Philippines and co-chair of the European Chamber of Commerce uh, of the Philippines on renewable energy and energy efficiency. So we're at the forefront of pushing for advocacy to drive the growth of renewable energy in the Philippines.
Tsaka ma'am, di ba may balita ngayon, actually kahapon ata namin nilabas na yung sa transmission, yung connection to the grid, okay na magiging okay na si DOE. Parang they're making like policies para private sector na yung gumawa. Diba?
I think so. Yun yung parang sinasabi nila na kung meron kang project dito at yung transmission line hindi pa ready,
Yes.
pwede mo
Oo.
siyang, you can build it
Yes,
as a
yes.
project developer. Tapos parang i-advance mo yon tapos
Yeah.
babayaran ka na
Oo.
lang. I think that's what you're referring
Yeah.
to.
Oo.
But also I want to emphasize that the Philippines is made up of how many islands? 7,600
Mm-mm.
islands, right? Pag may bagyo, 'di ba? Tapos may natumba wala nang kuryente. For
Mm-mm.
us, we feel that because of the onset of technology, renewable energy, battery, etc., kailangan distributed na yung energy resources natin na hindi na tayo reliant on the grid na alone. So, pwede tayong dito lang. Kahit anong mangyari dyan sa kanila, we are able to sustain. No? So, I think that mindset of being distributed should be there for the Philippines anyway.
How do you view the DOE's RE target by 2040? Is it realistic? And what
Yung 50%?
Yes, oo.
50% of RE by 2050, tapos 35% by 2030. Realistic? I think so. Isa pa sa mga hurdles ng project developer is the offtake. You build it, sino ang bibili?
Yeah.
But they have the Green Energy Auction
Yes.
Program, the GIAP, that is there to support this, no? So yun, I think achievable naman if we all work together, removing, yun talaga yung mga hurdles na yan, challenges, kailangan unti-unti natin silang tatanggalin para ma-achieve natin yung goal.
So ma'am, what role should private developers like UJEP play in shaping policy and building investor confidence in the sector?
Alam mo, pag private sector ka, you need to have regular conversation with policymakers, like the ERC, the DOE, sit down together to resolve issues. That's the only way you can get things done. And when you get things done, investors will have more confidence, diba? Sa Management Association of the Philippines, we conducted roundtable discussions talking about the Philippine Energy Plan. Meron tayong PEP na tinatawag. So, paano ma-achieve ba natin itong mga sinasabi natin? And if we're not, what's stopping us from getting there? So, gumawa pa kami ng roundtable discussion on market. Do we have the right market? Ano yung, meron pa tayong finance, infrastructure. So, yun yung mga issues na hinihimay-himay namin yan. That's where private sectors convene together with the government agencies like DOE, ERC. Of course, we also included the NGCP, the banks, retail electricity suppliers, lahat. Everyone involved in this ecosystem is part of that conversation. And that conversation is well documented, and we're going to present it to the Secretary of Energy, Sharon Garin, on November 11. Wherein ito yung mga kailangan gawin, and then if need be, we create a technical working group for us to be able to go through them one by one and hopefully resolve the issues.
Ma'am, siguro I want to go back to the role of banks in funding mga renewable energy projects. Kasi sabi mo nga, di ba, especially with big banks, they'd rather put their money on bigger companies, di ba? Pero paano naman yung mga small companies that they want to have a good start,
Mm.
and what they're doing naman will have a ripple effect dun sa nation, 'di ba? So
Tama.
ano sa tingin nyo yung hindi na yung role ng mga banks, but ano yung ano ba, parang request, hindi request sorry. Ano ang um, ano ba yan? Siyempre nag-chemo brain fog na naman ako. Ano yung ano yung dapat na ginagawa ng mga bangko para naman yung mga smaller companies, they can have a good start and start the ball rolling and be able to contribute to nation building.
Ang nature kasi ng banks is, they're risk adverse, right?
Mm.
Kailangan ma-address mo yung mga concerns nila, makakabayad ba to, 'di ba? Kasi they're also using other people's money, right? One of the discussions we had was, paano mo ang MSME, especially
Yeah.
those people that need the funding to get them started, is to empower. They were talking about a sovereign guarantee. Ano ba yung sovereign guarantee? Ibig sabihin, the government is guaranteeing it, di ba? Pero may cost of money yun. Let's say, the Phil guarantee. So, pag, kunyari, nagpautang si DBP or BDO, may Phil guarantee siya. So, si BDO will charge, let's say, 6%. Si Phil guarantee will charge additional 2% para i-guarantee ka. So, magiging 8% na yon. Okay, mabigat. Pero, kung startup ka, let's do it, diba? Kasi kailangan ko, I have to prove myself.
Mm-mm.
So yun, that's one way of doing it. In our case, the Development Bank of the Philippines, may facility sila where they can bundle all our small projects na 400 kilowatt, 500, 1 megawatt. So it has become a better, parang mas financially, no, for them. And it has become a DBP success story. And I encourage yung mga maliliit na kumpanya to sit down with DBP and see if that facility still exists and if they are able to do that for them. And pag kinulang pa rin ng ang bangko, then maybe consider sovereign guarantee like Phil guarantee.
Ma'am, yung balikan natin yung sustainability sa UJEP, that you're living, breathing, sustainability is at the core of your operations. It's in your DNA. Can you expound on that? Lalo na yung ESG. You mentioned kanina before we did this podcast na meron kayong meditation, meron kayong 10,000 steps a day for your employees.
So, work-life balance, no? Ako, when people ask me, like, where'd you get your energy from? Why are you, like, so energized? I was like, I exercise every day. I jump on a trampoline. I do yoga, meditation. I dance. I play golf. So, and I also make sure that what nourishes me is something that is good for me, diba? Kaya fruits, vegetables, I feel like 80% of my diet is like that. And so I take this to work. Siguro naiinis yung mga kasama ko sa office. They're like, nakaka-stress. But, like, we, as a policy, we give people a smartwatch. So, na-record nila yung steps nila. The goal is 10,000 steps a day. And then, every week, after our weekly meeting, meron kaming roll call ng mga name and shame. Top 10. Yan. Tapos, bottom 10. Parang baka naman, gusto nyo mag-improve, di ba? But it's all in the spirit of fun. And we also practice meditation, breathing, because, alam mo, sometimes we exercise pero yung mind natin disconnected siya, di ba? And meditation does that. Scientifically proven, people that actually meditate is in a better space. People talk about mental health issues. But then how do you address that? Meditation or breathing? There's a type of breathing that you do that actually helps. Tapos meron pa kaming bawal ang junk food, but of course it doesn't stop them. I encourage my team members to eat fruits, vegetables, ganyan. Nagdadala ako ng mga mais na nilagam, mga nilagang saging, fruits. And you can see that it's slowly changing the way dati, pag out of town sila, magdadala sila ng mga sweet stuff from whatever, no? Ngayon, nakita ko may nagdala ng pomelo. I was like, oh my God, breakthrough. Diba? But it's a cultural thing.
Yes.
For us, it's not something that we're like, yeah, kailangan meron tayong diversity. No, for us, it's across the board. Lahat ng gagawin natin, may diversity and inclusion, di ba? So yun, kaya yung Solar Nanay was born. Because, yun na nga, parang, so what about the women in our community?
Correct, oo.
Di ba? Yung mga lalaki, we hire them during construction. What about the women?
Oo.
So yun, ganon. So pag nakita mo, paano kami mag-isip, how we roll, is ganyan. And then, we are actually celebrating 10th year anniversary of UJEP. And
Wow.
instead of having a big party, we have conducted like reforestation, went to visit the home for the aged, went to yung mga na-relocate from Tondo to Bulacan. We spent time with children, gave them food, etc., etc. And then we did all sorts of things. We put rooftop solar in the project area where we have for an NGO that looks after kids. For me, CSR is not just corporate social responsibility. It's our culture.
Yeah.
So when we celebrate milestones like 10th year anniversary, it has to be inclusive. The community has to be part of it. Of course, we appreciate having parties, invite our team. But what we say is that this is how we are. And the more people that actually needs the help, dun kami. Diba? And that's what separates us from everyone.
That's very laudable. Kasi unang-una, sabi ko nga, na-mention ko sa iyo kanina, ma'am, di ba, you are a renewable energy company. And renewable is all about sustainability. So, kung hindi ganun yung kultura mo, then hindi siya sustainable, di ba? And so, whatever you do for your employees, di ba, it's something that's very sustaining. Like, kahit yung mga, I totally agree with yung exercise and all, 10,000 steps a day, and even the CSR, because somewhere along the way you get to inspire someone. Somewhere along the way, when you inspire that person, it gets paid forward. You pay it forward, and that's something that will drive sustainability.
Yes.
Diba?
Tama. So, may there's a joke going on in our office parang work-life balance, sobrahan na kami sa life. Sige, we'll give you more work.
Talaga. Nga, hindi na balanse ang work-life. Mas marami ng life.
Mas maraming life.
Diba?
Yeah. We encourage that.
Exactly. Alam mo, yun nga yung may science behind it. Tsaka as you grow old, ma'am, kunyari, you force your employees to exercise o stand up after a few hours. Kasi totoo niya, ako nga nagte-therapy ako because sedentary na yung lifestyle mo. Lagi ka na nakaupo, lagi ka nakaano. So, even yung sa laptop, di ba?
So, ang namin, the culture in the company is after you eat, you go for a walk. Malapit kami
Tama.
sa Ayala Triangle. So, people walk.
Yes. Ginagawa ko yan. Nung
Walk
nandun
talaga.
ako
But it has to be, you have to be mindful. If you're
Yeah.
not mindful, you'll be sat there all day and then you get up, you're like, sakit.
So now, ma'am, magko-quick fire na tayo. Yes. So, first question, what's one thing people would be surprised to learn about you? Meron pa ba? Is there something, you seem to be very transparent, ma'am. So, meron pa bang, meron ka pa bang tinatago dyan?
Hindi ko alam.
Sige. Okay. What's your secret productivity hack on hectic days?
Meditation, yes. Pero, what works for me is, kunyari, most of the time, I'm doing like 100 things all at the same time. Ang ginagawa ko, inuuna ko siya isa-isa. Tapos yung mga pinakamahirap, tatawagin ko yung colleague ko. And I'm like, can we start this? Tapos umpisan nila, then pwede na ako. Yun. So, parang, inuunti-unti ko yung mga kaya ko nang gawin para maumpisahan na siya.
Tama, ako rin, ganun ako. Meron akong
List.
listahan ng
Yeah,
mga to-do, tapos iko-cross
Trust
out.
mo. Oo. Mas madali, di ba, pag ganun?
Yes, oo. And then, yung power ng delegation. Delegating to...
Delegation is a skill. Not everyone can do it. Ako, I've mastered it.
At saka delegating it to the right person.
Yes.
Diba?
Yung
Somebody that you can really
rely on.
If you could have dinner with any leader, past or present, who could it be and why?
Siguro si Mother Teresa. I think kindness is underrated eh. How can someone like her be with, people in that community, yung mga, diba, may hirap, lepers and all that, and be so selfless? Yun ang goal, but I'm sure, I learned a lot from that conversation.
What's your go-to karaoke song when you finally have time to?
Parang wala.
Ay, sample. May nagsabi si Vio, sample.
Hindi. When I was in college, I was in a singing group. Pero,
talaga?
Yeah, but it was like it was a singing group. So, alto, ganyan. I don't think I can sing. I love to dance. So, yeah, I taught myself to dance because I love the salsa so much. I found it too sexy. And that's how I learned how to dance and sway my hips, ganyan. Dancing makes me happy. So,
sayang. Sabi ni Vio, meron ka daw may go-to karaoke song.
wala.
Ako, I don't sing well, pero
anong go-to mo?
Between Walang Ningning. Walang humpay yan. Grabe.
Sharon, ikaw ba yan?
Sharon. Talaga. As in. Yan talagang requested ko yan. Sumunod na si Karen Carpenter. Pero doon muna tayo sa OPM. Between Walang Ningning. If you had a billboard on EDSA, what message would you put on it? Just do it.
Just do it. Yes. Tama. Just do it. Diba? Ang dami ng mga magagandang sign dyan sa labas eh.
Oo.
Diba? Gusto ko yun.
Akala ko yun. Nakita mo yun, you're replaceable. Nakita mo ba yung...
Diba? Lahat ng mga nandun na napangiti ako as I walked in because those are true. Diba? So, yeah. If it will be me, just do it. Because people ask me, how do you start all this advocacy you've had? I mean, is there a way may rule number? Wala. Just do it. I just do it. Wala nang isip-isip, di ba? For me, I follow my heart. And most of the time, it's right. So, di ba? Why change?
And you'll never know what's going to happen if you don't start on
Exactly. You don't try, you don't know.
Correct. Huwag na tayo mag-second guess.
Correct.
Ano mangyayari, diba? Gawin mo na lang, then you will find out kung ano. Kung nagkamali ka, nagkamali ka. Kung tama ka, diba?
You'll reap the rewards.
So, what's one decision that changed the course of your career? Yan ba yung alam ko na ata yung sagot mo, mami.
Ano yung that changed?
When you founded Phil Carbon.
Yeah. So, yun na nga, di ba? It was a choice whether I go back to corporate and be a CEO and work for someone or take that leap of faith yun eh.
Yeah.
So I did that and I'm glad looking back 20 years that it was the right decision for me.
If you could power any place in the world with 100% renewables, where would it be? Ano kayang lugar?
You know what? My mother is from Shasi Sulu.
Oh.
Right? So it's a spag area. And pag nagbabakasyon kami doon, na maliit pa kami, during school holidays. Minsan may kita mo nagka-kerosene. So they're still unelectrified. I would want to power them with 100% renewable and, see that place grow to its full potential. Because when you have enough power to encourage business to grow,
Hanggang ngayon ba ganun pa rin doon?
Medj.
Bakit yung sa sa investor mo, doon na lang mag-invest?
Gagawin natin yan.
So, one Filipino trait that defines how you lead, Chef.
Compassion.
Si Actually, that's something that came to my mind. Always with the heart, no?
Compassion, always. You know, people see me as very tough. I'm really soft inside. Pero I'm also a leader that believes na if you need to make the hard decision, you have to do it because you need to look at the holistic bit of what the consequences will be. I liken that to like a basket of tomato. Maglagay ka lang ng isang bulok dyan at hindi mo tinanggal.
Oo.
Diba? Mabubulok lahat.
Mhm.
So, for the greater good, always.
Paano ka tough? Bigla ka talaga naisip, ano ba to, Vio? Paano ba nagagalit? Nagagalit ba to si ma'am? Oo
I think
nga.
I'm firm. I'm very
Okay.
firm. Pero sa office where we have like an open door policy, no? Anyone can come into my room. In fact, yung room ko, meeting room din yon. So they can kick me out anytime. We have like a co-working space type of office. So I'm tough because I want to get things done properly. And if you're not doing, hindi ka nakaka-contribute properly, I want to know why. And if you are in trouble, and if something happened to your project and everything, I'll ask you why, not to blame you, but to ask how I can help to find that solution for you. So, in fact, when people get permanent, no, we ask them to speak. Let's say 1 year ka na, ganyan, celebrate, speech. One of them said, when I have problems, I don't feel like I'm alone. Everyone pitches in. That's the culture. And that culture has to remain like that because when yung mga activities na akala nila naglalaro-laro lang kami, ano ba namin, puro na lang laro, team building, ganyan. That translates to efficiency.
Yeah.
Kasi kung parati tayo nag-uusap, parati tayo naglalaro, nagaganyan, hindi ba pag nagka-problema ka, ako yung unang magtatanong, diba, paano yan? Paano natin gagawin?
Correct.
Not paano mo gagawin.
Oo nga.
That's the culture.
True. Pero, syempre, pagka merong kailangan i-deliver, strict ka naman.
That's very clear.
Hindi
Ako, I draw
pwedeng-
the line. Alam nila pwede sila makipagbiruan sa akin. But
Okay.
once you don't deliver, then you will have to parang be ready for the solution. And,
Nagchika-chikan tayo ngayon, pero kinabukasan, pag wala yung hiningi ko sa'yo, yung deadline,
most
hindi
of
mo
the time
na-meet.
naman, kung mission impossible, alam nila na kasama nila kami. Management's always there for them. Never to yung ididiin ka. It's never like that. Unless na sobrang sama na ginawa mo, then you're out.
Hindi ka naman nanlalaglag, gano'n. Parang you always have their... Alam mo yun, minsan, yung experience ko kasi ito.
Go!
Ganon, di ba? Yung tipo bang up until pumalpak ka mga bagay-bagay, laging, siya,
Hindi ganon.
hindi ganon, di ba?
Yung culture namin talagang, pag alam namin na project mo, tapos hindi nangyari, hindi mo nagawa, hindi ganon. It's always like, how can we solve this problem? Saka na tayo mag-usap afterwards, di ba? And then it's like, maybe next time we should do it like this. But never putting people down because that's the worst thing you can do, di ba? Paano mo? Tapos na yun, di ba? Problema na. What's the
Correct.
solution?
So if your leadership style were a movie title, Max, what would it be called?
The Devil Wears Prada.
Ah! I love it. May part 2 yan.
Yes,
diba?
yes.
May
Looking
continuation. What advice would you give to young women aspiring to lead in clean energy?
Alam mo, I always believe na women always have a space on the table, diba? If you don't have a voice, you don't have a chair, bring your folding chair. Gawa ka ng upo ka dyan. Because you need, unfortunately, sometimes women are seen as weak, irrelevant, sometimes. So when that happens, women should really parang push your way in if you need to. Because you are part of an important conversation na yung ambag mo, imagine if you have puro lalaki, tapos yung conversation puro very male-centric, di ba? Kung isama mo ang kababaihan, iba na yung perspective. So what does that do? It enriches the discussion. And it's their loss if you are not part of it. So I always tell women that if you don't have a seat on the table, bring a folding chair.
And alam din natin that not a lot of women have that courage. So kung ikaw, katulad mo, ikaw, ako, we know that we are empowered. Then tayo ito yung ano, di ba?
That's why it's
Women
important to
supporting
mentor.
women. Yes.
Women supporting women. And I always, consciously, I never used to be, when, like, if I think there was an instance that there was this energy event, there was a lady moderating a panel of all men in suits, mga foreigners, ganyan. So she was trying to be funny and all that, and those guys were so serious. She got off the stage. I went up to her and said, "Good moderating, by the way." You know, she wrote about it on LinkedIn. Do you know how important it is that you parang revalidate what they do? Because, syempre, nangganon na siya, di ba? Parang they were not responsive with her. And then she was like, you know, this lady na ganyan-ganyan and respected has come up to me and said, parang sabi niya, thank you. And that's all you need, di ba? To revalidate that. And women should always support other women.
Yes.
And men the same way, di ba?
Correct. So, balikan natin yung first question. What's one thing that would still surprise your friends and family in the sector as well, the industry?
What will surprise them? That I am marami eh.
Sige, kahit marami. Oh.
So, you know, ano rin ako, I'm like lastminute.com. So my husband knows that.
Pareho pala tayo.
Like, sa dami ng ginagawa ko, parang, if this thing is happening tomorrow, ngayon pa lang ako mag-aaral, ganyan. And then people say, oh yeah, you know, ganda nung pagkagawa mo dun sa moderating or panels. I'm like, it's preparation eh, di ba? And hindi nila nakikita yung preparation mo. Ang nakikita lang nila na parang it was so flawless, ganyan. So, ganon na, nagkakram ako kahit sa school pa na nagkakram ako. And then people think I'm so organized, right? Like they look at me and they're like, yeah, I'm sure your house is organized. Today, yes. But when I was like growing up, sobrang kalat ko, ganyan. But now I can't stand it. It's probably age. So yun, maano ko. I'm so visual na kailangan nakikita ko siya para
Oh my God, pareho kami. Like, tingnan mo ito, twinning. Ngayon talaga, meron talagang dahilan.
Diba?
Totoo yan. Kapag hindi ko, you know, yung previous bosses ko sabihin, ang gamit ko ngayon yung table mo.
organized chaos, diba?
Yes! Kasi kung hindi siya
hindi ko siya
hindi mo maaalala.
Oo, hindi ko siya ma-attend to.
Yes.
Diba? Pero
yes.
pag nandyan siya sa harap ko,
Correct.
gagawin ko na siya kaagad.
Yes.
Kasi makakalimutan.
Oo. Pero after naman no, naglilinis naman ako. And then things get piled up again. Ibig sabihin, busy na ako ulit. Pero pag natanggal mo yan, ibig sabihin, na-accomplish ko naman lahat
Yun,
yan.
diba? Visually, natanggal mo rin yung clutter.
Correct. Dami pa na namin
Common.
appear. Diba? Thank you very much, Miss Ruth, for accommodating our
Uy, maraming
Yes.
salamat
Oo.
for...
and for this outfit.
Oh, diba?
You
Tsaka nagmamatch ito dyan
Oo,
sa...
diba? Pero I'm so glad hindi na ako nakabandana. Buti na lang may buhok na ako ngayon. Kaya minsan nako-conscious ako, oh my God, manipis pa rin yung bunbunan ko, hindi pa. Magka-castor oil ako.
Actually, tinatanong ako ng mga tao, parang, ay, ganda ng buhok mo, paano ginasay ko? Hindi ako nagsusuklay.
Pero at least you don't, unlike other girls, well, kasi naman sila comfortable. Kasi naman siguro mabuboost yung moral nila. But Most women kasi they don't like curls, di ba? Gagawin mong lahat para ng
Mag-rebond. Oh my
mag-reband,
God, Tina.
mag-plancha. But be proud of you.
Yeah, so I just embrace it. Tingnan mo.
Oo nga. Ganda. I like it. Yun.
Okay,
Thank
tapos
you.
na?
Yes. Yes. Miss Ruth, thank you for joining us on the Power Podcast. Your story is a reminder that energy isn't just about infrastructure. It's about impact. From powering islands to empowering women, you've shown how clean energy and inclusion can move forward together. If this conversation inspired you, follow the Power Podcast on Spotify, YouTube, and LinkedIn for more stories that illuminate the people behind the Philippines' energy transformation. Also, don't forget to subscribe, share, and follow Power Philippines on Facebook and LinkedIn for more updates. For your comments and suggestions, shoot us a message on Power Philippines Facebook Messenger account or email us at news.powerph@gmail.com. And of course, stay updated on the country's energy sector by visiting www.powerphilippines.com and by liking us on Facebook. If you want to view this podcast again, check out our YouTube channel at Power Philippines News. I'm Mai Tanglao, and this has been the Power Podcast, where we talk to leaders who power progress and possibility.